Hey, voice actors, Joe here. Are you ready for some real power? Because that's what I'm about to give you. The power of efficiency, the power of workflow, the power of masterfully managing life's only non-renewable resource, time. I'll say that again because it's so important. Time is your only non-renewable resource. You can never get more of it. I can't teach you how to get more of it, but I can teach you how to spend less of it and a lower percentage of it frivolously. I was having a conversation with a friend a few weeks ago, and he said, man, I don't know how you have time to be a full-time like social media guy, a streamer, do all your voice acting work, make and market a course, and have 2 kids. To which I replied, it's because my skills aren't actually any of those things. My skill is time management. My skill is productivity. These are the skills that I'm going to teach you in this module. The skills that have let me submit over 50,000 auditions in my career, sometimes to the tune of over 100 a day. There's a solid chance that you've been spending most of your time hanging out with the mortal enemies of efficiency. We all do it because we get entrenched in our ways and we never want to change. We figure out one way of doing things, and then 10 years later, we're still doing it the exact same way because we've never even thought we could do it any better, because probably we don't even think about what we're doing. Mindlessly completing tasks is a great way to make sure you're never improving, never innovating, and always falling behind other people who are. So, in this module, we're going to go over a host of ways to free your mind from the slavery of repetition and how things have always been done. And we're going to establish some new efficient habits of working and viewing our business. And we're going to use a ton of different tools to get there. And honestly, none of these things cost a cent to improve. I'm not going to be recommending that you build your own water-cooled PC that could power NASA or buy a tool that transliterates words in your mind into a Word document at the speed of light. I'm talking about utilizing tools that have always been there, unlocking functionality in your computer and your life that you've never known existed, improving the way you tackle your reading, understanding your DAW, marking and making edits in your recordings, and freeing yourself of the mental burdens of perfection and obsession over details. This module is broken into 2 halves: principles and practice. The first part, principles, is aimed at altering the way you think about work, productivity, and the way you're doing things. These principles are things I've designed and distilled over my years as not just a voice actor, but a dude who gets things done and gets things done fast, right, and effectively. Learning that you can crush your to-do list in a quarter of the time you thought you could is, in a large part, a mental exercise and could easily be paired up with our mentality module. For this section, I'm going to reframe your life and your work and invite you to examine many of the things that are taking up time and energy through a new lens, and then brutally cutting out anything that doesn't serve you, your health, your relationships, or your business. In the second part, we're actually going to take a look at the practice of workflow. In this section, I'm going to apply those principles to us specifically as voice actors. I'll show you new and innovative ways to use the computer you already have, and I'll show you how to get inside your DAW and customize it to the point where you're doing all the things you need to do in half the time or less. Part of this will be establishing muscle memory and making new habits. I want to emphasize that we're not going to be wasting our time trying to break habits. We talked about this already, but it's much easier to establish new patterns than it is to break old ones. So rather than focusing on getting you out of the way you used to work, we're going to get you into the way you will work from now on. This will involve improving how you read, type, click, or even just browse the internet. I'll invite you to take an incredibly powerful machine, your computer, and unlock the mysteries that have been sitting in there your whole life and you didn't even know it. And I'll show you a lot of great third-party free tools that will help you unlock your productivity machine. Are you ready to get efficient? Let's go.